Because I think that Peter would have had a hard time going back after he'd done those bad things. Or I think that he would have just showed up if Jesus hadn't have said, "Get my disciples and Peter." I wonder if Peter would have showed up at Galilee. I wonder if he would have showed up. I just wonder. Are we showing up in everything that he wants, or are we thinking we are? Are we like a Peter-type person, thinking these things that we couldn't be sifted, or get into the place that we forgot about our callings that he put on us? Blessings he's put upon our lives, and because of maybe mistakes or situations in our lives or things that's going on that we're looking at through non-perfected, loving eyes, we cannot see hope in it. When God sees hope in every bit of it. You look at the world now, drug situations, the denominational things, the other religions we talk about going on. You want to say this world's history. It's gone and ain't got a chance. But if it was over, God would have done raptured His church out. If He done give up on man, if He done said it was over, He would have done raptured His church out and said, that's it. There is no more that can be saved. That's it. Let's get them out. Let's take this world out. It's time to take it out. It's over. But He has not said that yet. At least I wasn't aware. I didn't stop by the graveyard. I hope I didn't miss it. Hope I didn't miss it. Do you? But you see how we are today. We really are like that. About people. And you really need to look at situations too. That we'll look at the situation, the circumstance going on, and we'll give up on it. You go into a hospital room, and all the doctor's got to say is cancer. Bam, you give up. Right then, you begin to panic, and you're already planning on what kind of chemotherapies, radiations. They may be so far along, you done planned the funeral out. I can done tell you, with my dad, we done planned the funeral out 4 times. We have. I'm serious. He's been that sick. But we done planned the funeral out for my dad 4 times. But that man has pulled out 4 times. I told Lisa, I said, until he quits breathing, I'm not saying enough 5th time. Until he quits breathing, I'm not going there. I'm not. Not no more. I done planned it out 4 times since the mid-'80s. Didn't think he was going to come out of it because doctors done told me, no chance. No chance, that's it. So how many situations we got like that we done give up on? Now, somewhere along the line, life will end for all of us. And if the Lord tarries, it will. It will end for Dad if the Lord tarries. It will. And by normal rule of thumb, he should go before most of us, but maybe he won't. We don't know. See, we give up on situations and on people just because we see circumstances with the carnal eye. When God is saying, no, that is not what you do. I'm telling you now, you go by thus saith the Lord, period. That's all you go on. I know the true heart intent. I know the real heart about man. And I know what's really going to come out of this situation. I know what I'm doing in your life. And maybe I'm doing a Peter-like experience with you to show you that maybe there's a chip inside of you or something inside of you I need to get out of you, that you're going to fail down the road if I don't get it out of you. And when you get into a heavy situation, you're going to betray me. And you don't think you will, but you will. How many of us right now would be in that situation? We don't really know. But God knows your real heart. He knows where your weakness is, and that Satan's going to come at your weakness. He knows that he's going to try to sift you out of that weakness place. And God is trying to prepare you so that you don't get sifted. He's trying to prepare you that you'll know when to stay away from situations, and you'll know when to walk into them. You'll know when His voice says go, and you'll know when it says no. Because if you don't, you're going to get yourself in a situation like Peter where you're going to mess up. And you're going to deny Jesus. That's what's going to happen to you. And we'll end up in that same circumstance and same thing. Now, how many would have thought that a man by the name of Saul, who went around beating and killing Christians, would write the most books in the Bible? If we would have seen that man back in his day, we'd have wrote him off as ever being a godly person. If we'd have been a Christian during that day, we'd have been frightened, and we would have run from him and said, there's no way a man has a heart to do God's work. But according to this, he's one of the greatest men in the Bible. One of the greatest men in the Bible. Wrote the most books in the Bible. Pretty good, ain't he? In a relationship with God. Done a pretty good job, didn't he? But how many times we'd have wrote him off? Let him go whenever he was right there when Stephen was stoned to death. Right there at his feet. He watched it happen, cheering it on. Yeah, baby, beat him. That old Christian is nobody. Thinks he knows it all. Kill him. We just said, oh man, we got to stay away from him. We better not say nothing. But God's seen in the heart and know what kind of work he would do. How important is it for us not to judge by what we see with our carnal eyes? The situation that's going on with our carnal eyes and carnal mind. But how important is it to see with the real spiritual eyes and ask God to really show you what to do before you make choices and decisions and follow the path that you think is right? Prudence is what it's called. Definition of it is you're going by your plan. Because you're going by what you see. You're going by what you think's best instead of God's plan. Because it just don't look easy that way, Lord. It don't look easy to go out here and people persecute me, put me down. I just don't know if I'm strong enough. Don't know if I can handle it. Don't know if I can do it. If God says you can do it, you can do it. What you need is just more knowledge of the Word so that when people come at you with the 101 question deal, you can give it, or you need more knowledge of God so you know when to get out. Some people there are going to be like Saul that we can't help. We're not the one intended to help them. It's somebody else intended to help them. We get in that battle, we're going to get defeated. We get in that battle, we're not going to win it. But how many of us are casting off people and situations because we're looking at it through the wrong eyes? I think we would have cast Peter away if we didn't know his real evidence now of what he become. And I think that we would have cast Saul away and said there was no hope. And others, much like them. When you picked, would you have picked those 12 disciples that he picked? A tax collector and fisherman and all of that? Or would you went out and picked out some of the best Jewish leaders that they were? Said, them men know the Bible or the laws. They got to be pretty good men. That's probably who we'd have picked, wouldn't it? We'd have went out and picked 12 of the strongest leaders in the Jewish environment that knew more about the law of Moses and said, them people got to be the ones. But look who he picked. He picked people. Yeah. Do what? Yeah. Yeah. Pick the bad boys. Pick the ones that did not like money. Mm-hmm. So see, Lisa, you can turn that off now. We don't know.